Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special edition of the Varsity Sports Show live from Saguaro High School in Scottsdale, Arizona. Host site of this afternoon's Saguaro Spring Football Showcase. And my name is Vince Delicio. So excited to be here this afternoon. I was so excited that I started late. We were setting up and we got to conversations and everything else in chatting with my good friends here and all these great coaches. There are 6 schools here this afternoon. You're looking at the field right now. We've got our cameras moving all around. We're going to be miking up coaches today. We're going to be interviewing coaches today. Guys, it is going to be an incredible day. It's an incredible day for football. It's a fun day. I think we're going to have a great time this afternoon, and I am just so excited. Who's here today? Well, first of all, we've got the hosts. We've got the Saguaro Sabercats, and with many prospects that we are going to be talking about as the afternoon and evening goes on. We also have Marana High School is here. Okay, the Tigers are here, and last year's #1 open seed going into the postseason, 10-0, ran the table, and they are here today. They made the trip up from Marana. You've got the Horizon Huskies, coached by head coach Tyson Dibmore. We'll hear from Coach Dibmore a little bit later on. You've got Valley Christian that's here as well. They're a mainstay at the 3A level, and they're coached by Coach Jake Peterson. Looking forward to talking to Coach Peterson. The Desert Mountain Wolves and Coach Conrad Hamilton. And then, of course, the Mountain View Toros from the Campus of Champions, coached by Andy Litton. And we'll hear from Coach Litton a little bit later on as well. So great time. The format of today's event, there are going to be individual drills, one-on-one drills, other drills going on, line drills, and then, of course, they'll have the 7-on-7 portion that will be also bringing you in 2 phases. We'll have the first phase, which should be in the next hour, and then we'll have the second phase a little bit later on in the evening. First phase will be Marana Horizon Valley Christian. Second phase will be Desert Mountain, Saguaro, Mountain View. And that is it. So, and much more. And then you got me, you got athletic director Matt Harris, you got other folks that are here. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And we are just so excited that we could bring this to you. So, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Anyway, with that, we're going to move our cameras around. We're going to get some different perspectives as we go. Uh, and that should do it. So, guys, have a great time. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon here to this special edition of the Varsity Sports Show live from Saguaro High School in Scottsdale, Arizona, the Saguaro Spring Football Showcase. Stay tuned. We'll be around.
Defensive coordinator from the Sun Devils, Brian Ward. Offensive coordinator, Coach Arroyo from ASU in the house. Coach Barrow, San Diego State. Jaden Marquez, Black Hills State. Kyle Langhoff, Deloitte College. Kyle Crawford here with the Foresters. West Point is here. Coach Machado from Lewis and Clark. Eastern Washington University, Coach Sanders. Ripon College, Coach Marshall. Coach Diedrich from San Diego, the Torero. The most recognizable face and name on the sidelines of high school football, just chilling. Boise State Broncos in the house. Iowa Hawkeyes in the house. Rocky Mountain College is in the house. Augustana, New Mexico State. Simpson College. New Mexico Lobos.
As you heard from the public address announcer this afternoon, who doubles as the athletic director, Matt Harris, talking about some of the folks that are out here today. It's a regular who's who this afternoon of college coaches, local media personalities. I noticed he didn't say my name. He's going out of his way to not say my name, for God's sake. Anyway,
We'd like to welcome.
yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, okay. So when you have to like ask somebody to do it, then it kind of loses its effect. But anyway, so we're gonna bring him on right now because he is just yeah, he's got a lot to say. So let's hear from athletic director Matt Harris here from Saguaro High School. So, Mr. Harris, so thank you so much for that warm introduction there. It's as you're breaking our equipment apparently. Um, you need some help there. I'm gonna. What an afternoon! What a day. Anyway, so yeah, so I don't know. It's a little dim right now because we're in the shade. But Matt Harris, Saguaro SaberCats athletic director. Mr. Harris, so all kidding aside, there's a lot of people out here today.
We we're excited to have our annual showcase here and good weather, good location here at Saguaro High School. And thank you for coming out and get everything set up. Opportunity here from some of the best programs, head coaches, and players. What a great opportunity for high school student athletes to get an opportunity to be seen in front of what could be 80 to 100 college coaches by the end of the night.
Well, I went back last year and from last year's showcase, and I looked at the number of viewers that we had, and we were in the thousands, and a lot of those were even. Perhaps I'm going to go out on a limb and say because this is being broadcast also on our NFHS network channel, but there's a lot of schools that couldn't be here today that are also tuned in, and so the idea is that there are some diamonds in the rough, and there are some big stars, some real legitimate blue chippers that are out here as well. But what would you estimate from each team? How many players that will be playing after their high school careers are done?
Yeah, I think if you follow Arizona high school football, that number continues to increase on a yearly basis. So Arizona really has become, one of the hotbed states for competitive high school football. And this week, there's been a ton of college coaches in town visiting showcases throughout the valley, and I believe ours is here at Saguaro High School is continues to be one of the most highly attended by our college coaches. But I think that's a testimony to the programs here from the five schools along with Saguaro that are on the field tonight.
Well, and you have personal relationships with a lot of these coaches that are here because, in my opinion, I don't think you'd have the schools participating that you do. And I know the name Saguaro is a marquee name here in Arizona high school sports in general and in the history of high school football. But there's a lot of personal relationships that you have developed through the years through with the folks at and Tyson Ditmore at Horizon. You've got Andy Litton at Mountain View as well as the administration over the amazing administration over there. How did you end up swinging Marana?
Yeah, so we had one team in our showcase last year that decided not to return, and they wanted to participate in the showcase over on their side of town on the west side. And so we did have one spot that opened up, and good relationship, obviously, with all schools in the valley. But the job that Coach Stewart, his staff, and the Marana Tigers did last year, they really made some noise, and that was a championship season for them. They got themselves in the Open and played, I think, against the one of the perennial Open Division teams. But they were a tough out in the Open Division, proving they're one of the best teams in all of Arizona.
They most certainly did. I want to bring Coach Stewart over. Stay right there, Mr. Harris. Let's bring Coach Stewart over. Coach, have a seat in that chair right there, sir, if you would, please. Oh, you got wow, that's a nice hat. Um, so I I want to welcome you over, Coach Stewart, Philip Stewart. Coach, talk a little bit about your team last year and the pressure of let's talk about pressure because we covered first of all we covered that Open game, but to go into the postseason, number one in the state in the Open, all eyes on you, never been done before at Marana. What kind of pressure?
To me, I don't think it was pressure. Like I told the boys when we came in as freshmen, nobody would ever thought that we'll be the number one team when they became seniors. But that's something we've been building since we have been there. You know what I'm saying? So as freshmen, we have been building those bricks. And our senior year, I think a lot of people around the state just took notice of what we've been doing there because I say if you look at our record, we have been pretty good leading up to that anyway. So I think that year was just everybody took notice because of those two teams we had beat early, and everybody's like, "Well, dang, they might be pretty good." So, like I tell my boys, man, if we prepare now and when the spotlight comes, we're gonna be okay. So, like I said, I don't think it was pressure going in the game. They was excited. It was the first time ever done. And usually my first year, I can say, Coach, why would we play a team like Hamilton to my senior year? We'll beat them. You know what I'm saying? So watching the growth of those boys and just their attitude towards the game, their mindset of, hey, we can play with anybody in the state if we put our mind to it. And just that senior year, that senior class was just great, round out having the number one receiver in the state. So
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty good season. And my quarterback, he's returning, and he was like, "Let's do it again. Let's do it all over." So I'm excited. The boys, they do a good job for me, man, and I just love it.
The a couple questions. Number one, at this point last year,
Uh,
looking at where you were compared to where you are right now, what's the difference?
I have more guys know what they're doing this year. I said that the other day. I was like, we don't look too bad out here in spring. I have more than just that first, those first two groups. They look really well, and then it drops off sometime. So now going into my younger guys, those freshmen, sophomores, they're learning too. And then like just right now, we was out there doing sevens. I think the moment right now kind of got a little bit big for them, so they was a little hesitant. But for the most part, they know what they're doing, and for that, I can help them with the next part. You know what I'm saying? But they looked way better than we looked last year. I feel like we're more talented, even though we lost a lot of talent. But I feel like we have more talent because more people know what they're doing.
Yeah. This isn't exactly a hop, skip, and a jump for you to come up here. It takes a little while, and particularly with some rush hour traffic. And when Mr. Harris reached out and extended that invite, what made you decide to come up here instead of just staying in the neighborhood?
Oh man, so the one thing we preach there is competition. We got to compete. So if we want to be the best, we got to play the best. You got to beat the best. So hey, why not go up there to Phoenix and play with the big dogs? Because I believe one day we're gonna win a state championship there, and for us to do that, we're gonna have to go through one of these schools here in Phoenix. So I like to come up here and compete with these guys, and the boys like it. You know what I'm saying? Little trip, little Thursday afternoon trip. They got out of school early, so they was excited about
Oh, there
that
you
part.
go.
But
Yeah.
like I said, man, I think for us, to keep competing and being able to compete like in the open we did last year, we have to come down here to these things like this. And I'm glad they extended our hand because I was searching. I was hitting up all the schools like, hey, man, we want to get down there. So I'm glad,
Were some
Coach
were
Davis.
some a little intimidated or afraid to have you come out? You think?
Some been like,
But
nah,
they
we
didn't
don't
want it.
want
They didn't want
y'all.
to say it.
And
Yeah.
my thing is, hey, we trying to compete.
Yeah.
Like we not coming in there trying to say we're voting on. I want my guys to understand like we can compete at no matter the environment, whether it's 110 degrees out here, whether the team has 200 players to our 60, we'll still be able to compete, and that's something we preaching over there. So,
What can you tell us about this quarterback years that's coming back?
oh man, the one thing I can say, man, he's crossing over into that leadership role. He wants to lead these guys. He came to me first time the schedule came out. Coach, we can go 10-0 again. I said, you think so? He said, we can go 10-0. And I told him, the one thing you're going to have to do is get those younger guys
Yeah.
to play at a high level. I know what those older guys are going to do, that they played last year. But how can you get those older guys to play at a high level? And this spring practice, I've been seeing it every day. Just, hey, you got to run the route here. Don't sit in that first window. Take it to the second window. Just hearing those little things from them. I'm like, whoa. And then the backup quarterback was in. He was like, hey, your footwork. You got to turn those hips in. I'm like, whoa, you better listen to him. Where he learned that from? You know what I'm saying? So just hearing him coming out there and he's helping that younger generation, it does so much for him because that's telling me he's learning it and he's able to teach it now. So he's really this offseason got in the weight room, got a little bulky. I tell him, I say, you look slow right there. A quarterback with big guns, with big arms look good. So he's really has taken over the leadership role this offseason. And I think he wants to put out a good showing this year.
Here with Marana High School Tigers head football coach Philip Stewart and Saguaro Athletic Director Matt Harris. Mr. Harris, but to have a school of the caliber of the competitive level of a Marana up here, what do you think this does for your event overall?
Yeah, again, if you look at Saguaro, we got 1,300 students, and so the size of the school doesn't matter. When you got an elite coaching staff, guys that are grinding and working hard, you get kids buying in that are tough and competitive and playing for each other. You can rise to that high level, and so we're excited to have Coach up here again on the field with Horizon High School up here, who was also a Open Division team last year from the 5A level, and then Valley Christian. You look at Valley Christian's linemen; they don't look like a 3A school. They look like
Yeah.
they should be playing 6A with those linemen. And so, again, quality coaches, quality programs, and just a testimony to Coach. And we love having him up. Our guy's a Tucson guy, Coach.
Yeah.
So Coach maybe loving to get that 520. Is that the area code?
Yeah, yeah.
And so good to have Coach here. And so I'd love to know too. So what you talked about your quarterback. Who are some of your best guys that you're going to lean on coming back to expect another great run?
So on the offensive side, man, we got senior lineman Chase Munson. He's moving over to the tackle for us this year. He started for us at guard. We got Gannon Nesbitt. He played guard for us. He's moving out to tackle. So we're gonna put some younger guys on the inside to kind of help that. But then receivers, we got Sean Roebuck. His related to the Desmond Roebuck. So hoping to have another big year out of him. He did pretty good his sophomore year. And then on the other end, you got Jackson Sharp. He's gonna be, I think he's gonna be elite for us on the outside. And then to round it off, I got the two running backs, Darren DeWitt, real good athlete, real shifty in space. And then the freshman, he's gonna be a sophomore next year. Jeffrey Smith, he had over 1,300 yards all purpose last year,
Wow.
rushed for almost 1,000. So he's gonna be another workhorse for us this year. He moving over to Mike linebacker. He wants to go both ways. So I think he'll be able to do it. I think he'll be able to handle it. And then on the defensive side, we got Hayden Utley down there. He had 16 sacks last year at nose. I don't think nobody has took notice yet. He
Wow.
had 16 sacks down there at nose,
Wow.
being double teamed every play. So he gave people a lot of havoc like there. And then I had an outside linebacker named Greg Webb. He also had 15 sacks off the edge. So they was a big part of our production last year on defense, and both of them coming back. And I think we're gonna have some guys on the back end. With I think Sean Roebuck gonna go play some safety for us also, like his brother did. So hopefully we can get another Roebuck back there. So like I said, man, we got a really good squad. They young, they kind of sophomore, juniors. So I don't really have a lot of seniors per se, but I got a lot of seniors. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but my younger guys, they're going to help contribute to what we did. Just like last year, our younger guys helped the that senior class last year. So I'm excited about what we can do. The talk of the town is I think Marana can go 10-0, but they're gonna slip up. But I think that comes from us staying focused. And the one thing I always tell the boys, the team that can stay focused the longest is gonna go the furthest. You know what I'm saying? It's hard
Yeah.
to stay focused in the world. They got the world at the palm of their hands. So it's hard to stay focused in today's society. So the team that can stay focused the longest is gonna probably go the furthest, you know what I'm saying? So
Amazing. Coach Philip Stewart, Marana Tigers coach, thanks so much for joining us. And you got to send some of those young men over, and we'd be more than happy to
oh yeah, I'm
talk
gonna
to them.
start sending them over. I'm actually gonna send my quarterback over once I leave
Okay.
because I'm gonna let my backup quarterback go on the second term when we go out here. So I'll
Awesome.
send him over so you can talk to him, and then I'll send a few guys.
We also, coach, during your 7-on-7 period, we also want to mic you up if you're okay with that. Are you good with that? Or?
That's all right if you want me to.
Okay.
Keep it PG, coach.
Pretty good at it.
Yeah, don't be like Matt Harris. We got to keep it
So
clean here.
we're actually going on defense, and
Okay.
I'm an offensive coordinator, but defense is my baby because I play linebacker.
Okay.
So I'm about to do something. I'm about to get the yelling out here. So.
Oh, wonderful. Well, then I'm going to have you put this on your lapel, and we're good.
Man, golly. Oh, the
Okay.
kids know they supposed to get some stories out there today.
There you go,
Is it
coach.
on?
Yeah, I'm going to put it right there. Perfect.
All right. Well, so
Awesome.
I'll send them over here, and I appreciate y'all for having me, man. This was a
Thanks,
good
coach.
time, man.
Thank you
I
so much.
appreciate
It's good meeting you.
I appreciate y'all.
All
Appreciate
right.
you, coach.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
coming.
All right.
I'll send them over here.
Thanks, coach.
Have a great
Appreciate
night.
it. Oh, we getting ready to go on defense. This was
Oh, this is it. Okay, there you have it. All right. Wow. Well, so I don't. I got to see if this was a good strategy here in miking up coach. But anyway, so we'll hear from Coach Philip Stewart here on the mic. There we go.
Coaches want to thank you.
I'm in both.
You're welcome. Nice game.
I'll take these.
State championship here.
So let them take these reps. Hey, where you at? Hey, you up? Come on. Oh, yeah.
Could be some Chick-fil-A in there. Could be some hot dogs.
Colton Meyer, come here, man. Have a seat. Join us. I'm Vince. It's good to meet you. Yeah, good to meet you. So go ahead and pop that thing on, and we're joined by Marana Tigers quarterback Colton Myers. Colton, thanks for coming over. So a lot of questions that are out there, a lot of things about your team, and the fact that you guys were the number one team heading into the Open last year.
Yeah.
You ran the table. You were 10-0. And I'd ask Coach about the difference between last year and this year. When you look at where you were at this point last year compared to where you are right now, what's the difference?
I've got to say experience. Last year we had a lot of experience. We had a big senior group. This year we're going to be we don't have as much seniors, and so we're going to be starting young. But I think we really built this program, and we got some good young guys to keep it just keep the ball rolling. Yep.
Colton, obviously great experience for you yourself now going into your senior year. What are some things you yourself are working on and trying to get better at as you lead your team and hopes of another state championship run?
Yeah, I'm working on just footwork every day, footwork, speed. Those are my two biggest things I'm just working on this off season, and I'm just looking to go for a state run this year, sir.
That's great. Some teammates of yours that have been with you and on this run last year, again, unbelievable run. As a team, again, to me, I don't know what the expectations were
Uh-huh.
going in, but you guys, obviously get into the open and give them everything you got. So again, to me to me that's as good as a state championship
Yep.
run, if not better. And but tell me, what is it going to take, and what teammates are you relying on to step up this year and fill big roles?
It's going to take leadership. We had a good leadership last year. Uh, our defense really led the way last year, and then our offense just picked up. But a few key guys are our defensive line, Hayden Utley and Greg Webb. Yeah, those are two big guys that are going to help us go for the state championship this year.
All right, what's the play call that when you hear coach call, you get excited about? What is a play you want to hear called when you're getting ready to step off the line? You get pretty excited.
Gotta say, stack 10 F wheel, stack 10 F wheel. That's my call.
All righty, I love it.
Oh, you got to fill us in, coach us up on it. What is it?
Yeah, so we got a stack, so both sides are stacked, and then we
Okay.
got the right side, the Y, he's gonna run a read route,
Okay.
and then we got the Z running a 9 down the slot, and then the other side it's gonna be the T, the slot running a under,
Okay.
and then the X running a 9, and then we got the running back on a fast motion wheel. So that's probably my one of my favorite. The inside's always open, the read route.
So it's usually the read route is your
Usually,
go-to
yep.
then on that.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. How often is it going to be the wheel though?
The wheel, I got to read the cornerback on that one. So if the cornerback goes with the seam, and I got the wheel all day because he out leverages the linebackers.
Wow.
So yep, it's great.
Can you give a shout out? Who's your OC quarterbacks coach?
Coach Joplin, that's my guy.
All right,
All right.
awesome.
So,
Hey, thank you.
well, there you have it. Okay, Colton Meyer. Colton, Marana Tigers quarterback. Good luck this season. Thanks
Best
so
of luck,
much for
Colton.
coming over. So, good questions there, Mr. Harris, on his go-to. That was a nice, yeah.
Do you have any idea what that was? Could you draw it up? Could you
I
draw it
can't
up?
draw it up. You'd have to say it probably 4 times, 5 times for me to even get one of the routes correct. But the wheel, the read, the 9. So anyway, okay. And then I forgot what he said. What did he say that the tailback, not the tailback, but the X did on the other side? I don't remember. Anyway, that's a lot to absorb. And you imagine a big playbook full of plays. And on average, running, if you're a no huddle offense, you could be running up to 90, 100 plays a game.
Yeah, I'm sure as a head coach, an OC, you got to be ecstatic returning a guy that won 10 games for his team, got you to the Open Division, and to have a senior quarterback that's a leader of that caliber coming back with Colt, that's got to be a great feeling for the head coach.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on. As right now, it looks like we're right in the middle of Marana is out there with, is that Horizon?
Got Horizon High School, yep.
Yeah, okay. So a little 7-on-7 action. Let's see if we can get some field view of that with these guys and okay. Let's go back to right there. So, yeah. So a little bit of perspective. Obviously with the sun in front of us, it's we're going to get a little bit of the glare on the screen, but that's okay. Everything is going well out here. We've got a real good group of coaches. The college coaches are out here in droves. I mean, I looked around. I ran into old friend Joe Federico. I don't know if you knew this or not. Fun fact: Joe Federico was our quarterback at Phoenix College when I was the OC. And he was a very, very talented young man, uh, and naturally um, continued on in his career, in his coaching career. He wanted to get into coaching, and he was a coach back then. Very, very intelligent and doing great things for Concordia up in Wisconsin. So anyway, and then you have some other associates, some other friends that have come out here. Your old alums are out here as well, the Cobbers. So it's
It's interesting. Kyle Bakken, Concordia College defensive coordinator, does a great job. They have, I think, over a dozen Arizona kids on their roster, maybe more. So don't get upset with me, Kyle. I'll go count the roster here as soon as I'm off air and correct myself. But I wanted to say Lake Forest, one of the assistant coaches on his way in, said they expect to have over 50 players up there in Illinois at
wow.
Lake Forest College on their roster, Arizona kids. So coaches like that are really reaping and taking advantage of opportunities like these showcases to be here in town.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, we have Division I colleges here, from ASU's offensive and defensive coordinators are here. Coach Arroyo, Coach Ward. So to have a program that's right down the road, and two of the top guys running the show over there here on our campus, that speaks volumes. Coaches from Iowa, Idaho State, New Mexico State, Harvard, Yale. I mean, the amount of schools that are here representing all levels is pretty impressive.
Oh, is this when you're up? Is it? No. Oh, uh, yes, yeah. So it's 5 minutes from now. Okay, so we got a lot of things, a lot of moving pieces today, and we've had to adjust on the fly quite a bit. But you see, there's a lot of action out here, a lot of media out here covering this event. These guys are from everywhere. I mean, all eyes. If you're participating in this event, you're going to come out of this thing. Chances are there are going to be players on your squad that are going to walk out of here with offers today. It's just how it happens. A coach will be focused on one player, then all of a sudden a teammate or a player, on the other side of the field stands out. All of a sudden, it has a breakout, and then they're walking out of here being recruited heavily by that school, and potentially some offers there. So a lot of good stuff. It is really nice to get to know Coach Stewart. Great guy. We covered a few of their games last year, but I never really had a chance to talk to him until right now. And with these coaches when they're getting ready for their games and getting having their teams take the field, you don't really get a chance to meet with them and get to know what they're all about, and it's nice to meet Coach Stewart. We'll get a chance to meet the other coaches as well out here. Look at that drone flying over the field too. We'll have other coaches coming over. Coach, hopefully we can pin Coach Litton down here from Mountain View. We'll have Coach Kelly will be on with us in a few minutes. Coach Hamilton from Desert Mountain should be coming around here in a bit. And our schedule got a little out of whack, like I was saying, as we started a little bit late. Wanted to make sure everything was double checked, triple checked, and we are active and going now. So good stuff. But anyway. We're going to kind of turn it around and go to some of the cameras on the field and let you get a little of the sights and sounds of today's Saguaro Spring Football Showcase from Saguaro High School in Scottsdale, Arizona. Thanks again for tuning in for a special edition of the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Vince DeLisio. Stick around.
So it's crazy. It's crazy good. So when I'm saying talking to the quarterback, you can be smart. Can't be like the D lineman, right? I tell you. Can't be like the linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's Coach Myers right here, man. Kyle Bucket, college, yeah. Meet you. One that meet you. You look good out here. Thank you. This is such a coach, it's pretty kind of a not so secret, but I know. Oh well, look good. Thank you. I'm gonna reach out to you. Just kind of like name and a face, Minnesota accents. Hey, okay, okay. On our board, for every form. This is a team shot. I'm the DC, so I'm kind of spelling out to be cleaning myself. All right, it's kind of open itself, but get you connected with our QB coach or coordinator. So name and a face. It's a speed date out here. All this all right. So good to meet you. I'll follow up. Okay. Which are you here at the Lake Forest camp? I fly out tomorrow. Okay. I am coming. We're gonna be at June 3rd, ASU 707. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there. Okay. So, oh, it's the third. I don't know. We're gonna be on the 11th or the 12th. For their mega camp. Oh. And June 2020, we're going to be used for their camp. Okay, I think a couple of our slopes. Yeah, I feel them that go better. You can see a lot more. Yeah, it's hard. I see him through this. Yeah. Person. That's all right. I like to talk. Too. It's too. Uh-oh. Oh, went over the top of him. Went over the top of him.
Good crew. Guys, take it. Another good year.
We got so most of the guys that contribute last year coming back. So
Okay.
we gonna yeah, good core, yeah, offensive side, defensive side. We're gonna be all right.
Tell you what else, Punch.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think we're gonna split whatever side you want to go on. We'll do it. But yeah, no, no. I think he just told me pick the two offers. He was whispering to me. I said, well, maybe he gets it. He told him Greg. He said two guys just offered him. Hey, but he came and whispered in my ear. I said, I gave him a hug. I said, he excited about that. All he could do was smile. So
Said, grab me out. Shout, I like to visit.
that's
Part of it is get relationship,
mhm.
Making it, they get that offer, it's which they're on.
Yeah.
They're earning a little more. Like the first one's the hardest to get.
Yeah, it is. I don't think that it is. Like I said, it's a process. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. I mean, you got time. You got a while. So I think that's what our quarterback. He's so
It's hard.
patience, patience, patience. Yeah, they've done. Yeah, and I get it. So, like I said, man, got a good core.
Yeah.
And they just excited, man. I'm glad you came over. Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it. Great.
Say, what y'all located at? Just a million concordance. I got my hands on the concordance. Okay. Okay. No, what's the call everywhere?
So
It's a lot of schools up there.
it's 2 hours 40 minutes on the beach and on East.
Oh, it's not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
Of course, you flew in the park.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I started up your campus, my campus.
That ain't bad.
It's nice. Doctors. And they used wing for but they played for
Yeah, yeah. He did. He had the hair. Yeah, Angel. Hey, I remember. Desmond. Yeah. I did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he was in the with the coach before I got there, but I do remember because he used to come back to the school and stuff like that. Yeah,
He's big.
yeah, I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Practice. On the line.
It's not a lot of them around here, but
So yeah, it's nice and
hard.
nice parts. Yeah, no, yeah. I sort of fly up to us and it's a bit right off the flights.
You're right, it is. You're right. Now that you think about it, you're right about that.
All right, welcome back. We are going to be joined live by a couple of talented young men out of Marana High School, the Tigers. We have with us Sean Roebuck, left to right or right to left, if no, left to right if you're watching them. Sean Roebuck and Jackson Sharp. Gentlemen, wide receivers, DBs. We've been asking this question about Marana because it was like last year, your team just came out of nowhere and were lights out. We're undefeated, number one, heading into the postseason, the playoffs. Um, when you look at where you were at the start of last year, did you guys have a feeling that you had something special, or was there just kind of like a spark, that something that happened first game, second game that you said, you know what, I think we're pretty good? I'm going to pitch that question starting left to right. Let's start with Sean.
We had something really special. We had obviously my brother Desmond Roebuck. He led our team,
Okay.
but like we had good leaders and like they brought us up, and we just knew we were gonna have a great season.
What was it like having your brother as a teammate?
It's great. I just learned like he teaches me a lot. Like all the stuff I know
Yeah.
probably from him. Like he's like probably the best wide receiver like coming out of Marana,
Hmm.
and I just want to follow his footsteps.
So as sophomores last year, and Jackson, I'll pitch this question to you. As sophomores last year, now that the seniors are gone and you're 1 year older, and you guys, as going into your junior year, having to assume more of a leadership role, how does that feel? How does that look? Like, is the team, the look of the team, very similar? You're obviously your quarterback's coming back, kind of. A lot of questions kind of built into that one question, but how does that look, leadership?
Um, I think we we have like a lot of leadership on the team already, and we have a lot of guys coming up. So I think, and like me and Sean, and there's a few other incoming juniors that the younger kids already look up to. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah, we just set a good example for them, and we just try to just show them how the whole varsity, how the whole
yeah,
practice schedule works, everything like that. And I think about our team coming into this year, I think we have we are losing some guys, but I think we have a lot more depth and a lot more players that are good coming in, so we have a lot more, like, I guess, replacements that you could say.
yeah. Do you feel like you guys are more stacked going into this season with veteran players than you were last year, or did you have more veterans last year that brought things into the season with leadership?
I think last year we had like a few more players that definitely showed more leadership, but this year we also have some incoming seniors that are just great. They're good role models. They like to speak out. They like to tell us how to do things and how to keep us in track. And yeah, the season is going great right now. And
Yeah.
yeah, these incoming seniors are doing good leadership wise.
What do you guys like to do off the field that kind of keeps things, loose and relaxed? And I mean, do you guys go to the movies a lot? What do you guys like to do that kind of keeps things going so that you're still hungry, and wanting to get back out there and play?
Yeah, we do a lot of like team get-togethers. We've gone to the movies before. We're gonna go paintballing soon, actually.
Oh my gosh.
And we just
You guys ever get hit with one of those things?
yeah,
Yeah, they
That's
hurt.
that's hurts. Okay.
but yeah, we
All
we
right.
do a lot of team bonding, and
Yeah.
that's also great. Coach Stu puts that together amazingly.
Um, Wide receivers, defensive backs. You guys play the exact same position on the field. How do you guys, Sean? How do you guys help each other get better playing the same position?
We just most of the time it's me and him. We go head on head every practice
Yeah,
just to make each other better.
yeah,
Uh, he's a great wide receiver. Probably I say he could be like top 10
Top
in our
10.
class. Like
Wow.
crazy good hands, like
Okay.
great routes,
Okay.
and defensive wise, he'll attack the ball. He's not afraid. Like we just keep attacking each other,
yeah.
make us better.
Offense or defense? Go. What do you feel more comfortable with?
I play offense more, but
Okay.
this season I'm gonna play both.
Okay. Sean, how about you?
I say offense, but I like to hit, so
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of offense, you guys have a go-to route that's like your bread and butter, your niche, Sean?
uh, I have to say an in route or a drag.
Okay. Wow. A drag, huh?
Yes, sir.
Not a lot of guys like to go into linebacker land there. Okay. I gotcha. How about you,
Um,
Jackson?
I'd say probably a post. Post. I love posts and
Yeah.
corners
Okay. All
and
right.
comeback too.
Oh, come back too. All right. Awesome. Well, Sean Roebuck, Jackson Sharp, part of the exciting 2027 class for Marana High School. The Tigers, 10-0 last year, 10-1 when all was said and done. Number one team in the Open. Guys, good luck this season. Looking for more, and it looks like the future looks bright based off of what we're seeing out here. And you got a young and exciting, dynamic coach that's wearing a pretty cool cowboy hat as well.
Yes,
So,
sir.
anyway, good luck to you guys.
Thank
All
you.
right.
All right,
Thank you.
good meeting you both. Okay, wow, that was neat. Mr. Harris, you didn't tell me we were going to have such talented young men that were going to be coming through here. I mean, this is good stuff here. Hey, Sean. All right. Jackson, okay, thanks so much. Yeah, good stuff. Fun. It's interesting because you get different perspectives and and we still realize that these guys are teens, they're kids, and there's things that teens like to do, off the field, and they like to go to the movies, and they like the camaraderie, and they like to get together, and they play PlayStation, and there's other things, and then there's a time that they also have to have the discipline to buckle down academically, and we're finding more and more now that academics, I mean, it's always been important, but now, a tenth of a decibel in your GPA could be the difference between a scholarship to Harvard and one to, I don't know, Prairie View A&M. I mean, that's that competitive.
It's no, it's interesting, Vince. And a little history. The obviously the college landscape is changing with the portal and college coaches recruiting kids from other colleges and university, and that's just really exploded. And some people feel like that's maybe been at the detriment a little bit to recruiting for the high school student athlete, and it's made things a little bit harder. So there's no doubt that having a showcase like this gives students just it's unbelievable opportunity. Just grab some more sign-in sheets. Looks like we're kind of right on track for where we were last year. So somewhere between 80 to 100 college coaches hitting the field here, and we haven't even gotten to our second session yet.
Give me some of the highlights of some of the coaches that were here. What some of the schools that are represented here, or conferences, if it's too much of a extensive of a list.
Yeah, so no, we have obviously coaches from all over, not just the valley, but all over the country that are here. And locally, we have some NAIA schools that I'm a big fan of. Arizona Christian University is here. You have Ottawa University here that's represented, and right down the road here in Tempe, what are we, 11 miles, I think, from their campus. So
Yeah.
having Coach Ward, defensive coordinator, Brian Ward here from the Arizona Sun Devils, Coach Arroyo, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. That just speaks volumes. I did get a text from the tight ends coach at ASU, pretty nice guy named Jason Mons.
I don't even know that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't think he had trouble finding it here today. I think I don't know if he got lost, maybe, but he's been recruiting all over the nation, was just
Yeah.
recently in California.
Wow.
And so, credit to Jason and his staff, and then Coach Kelly for continuing this going. And so, as we talk about schools, where I just grabbed some more sheets from all over the place, you got Northern Arizona here. You have Idaho University here, New Mexico State.
Wow.
Just kind of rolling through some D1s here right now. San Diego State is here. Utah Tech, Yale for those 4.0 plus guys. Boise State, where our former coach Zach Hill is up there coaching
Yeah.
back at his Boise State Broncos. So Justin Udy here from there. We have Washington State here, Montana State here, Utah State, Eastern Washington. Additional West Point is here,
Wow.
San Diego. Looking through again Iowa here, and then you start getting NC State is here, the Naval Academy. I think I already mentioned Idaho, and so what's neat is we got Division 1 colleges here, and then we have a plethora of Division 2 and NAIA colleges,
Yeah.
Division 3 colleges, the Harvard of the North, Concordia College in Moorhead, Minnesota. But this is unique because not all these players are Division 1 guys, and so this is an opportunity for all players to get relationships developed, and for college coaches to kind of looking at guys that would fit their program and universities all over the country. So
What is a cobber?
It's a corn cob. I think it
It's a
won a.
piece of corn.
I think they just won like a national mascot camp, contest. So
Okay.
I mean, it's right up there with a gaucho kind of.
Or the artichoke.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, that's okay. Well, good. All right. So anyway, and it's a real testament. Getting back and to talking about these schools that are coming in from other parts of the country, that there is so much talent out there nationwide. I mean, we're talking Texas, California, up and down the coast, Florida, even, and yet they're coming here. And have you noticed, has it increased? Are they showing up more to Arizona now than they have in years past?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, for the longest time, I think maybe because Arizona didn't have some of those smaller colleges and they just had the big D1s, it was kind of an under-recruited state. You remember we used to have junior college football at Scottsdale, Glendale,
Yeah.
Phoenix College, places like that. And so I think, college coaches are maybe used to recruiting that, landscape in Arizona. But I think without question, the quality of football in Arizona has changed. There's usually 2 to 3 football teams that are national top 20 teams in Arizona every year. So that landscape has changed dramatically.
Do you see a one particular position group that coaches keep coming back here to get, as opposed to, other areas maybe may have niche, positions that coaches will go after, or is there such a thing?
That's a great question, Vince. And I, unfortunately, am not the guy to be able to give that
You're
answer.
the AD, you know everything.
But I would say there's a variety. You know what I mean? So you look at kids coming from our school, and our moniker SAGU comes from the fact that we've placed quite a few young men at the next level playing collegiately. At the start of this, for NFL season coming up, we got 6 Saguaro alum playing in the NFL,
Wow.
and so you really see a variety of it. And so I would say probably a little bit more of the skill type players coming out of Arizona, and maybe not as many of the brawn, big linemen and stuff. But I would assume you'd see still a pretty good cross section and variety of a lot of different players from different teams and programs.
Yeah. Um, uh, uh, how has the landscape changed for you as an athletic director compared to maybe when you started doing this 6, 7 years, 10 years ago?
Yeah. So going into talking specifically about this showcase, we had to have some hard conversations with some of our coaches last year as we were planning this, because that college landscape was changing and recruiting, and how a lot of college coaches were kind of planning and doing their visits. We were a little bit nervous, and we had some trepidation heading into last year that maybe we wouldn't see as many coaches coming out to an event like this, and that maybe they wanted to do just more of the campus one-on-one visits. But we were truly amazed with the showing of how many coaches in different college and universities were represented last year, and now we're starting to see that number again. And so I do think the college coaches like to see a little bit of that eye test. What do these players look like in comparison to some other players
Mhm.
that we're recruiting? And so these college coaches, testament to them and credit to them. They're going all over the country and on the road during these last couple of weeks, and really working hard morning till night to see some of the best talent here in Arizona. And so we get excited. And so as far as changes, the changes is I think a couple of things that I've seen is, kids used to get a ton of offers their freshman and sophomore year. Sometimes those offers really meant something and provided fruition by the time they got to their junior, senior year and turned into commitments. Nowadays, we are starting to see a few less offers being thrown out to the high school student athletes. The roster size at colleges, I believe, has changed to 104 or 105. So there's maybe a few less scholarships available at the D1 level. The junior college rule has changed to, if you play junior college football, you still have additional years of eligibility at the college level. So again, I feel like being recruited as a high school student athlete to go play college football is a privilege and an honor. And if you're getting recruited by any college that's here, that is a huge testament to your on the field work that you're doing, and then the work that students are doing in the classroom. And so that the biggest area where I think guys can make a difference is with the classroom and the grades. If you have a high GPA and you're a good player, coach is going to have a lot more interest in you.
All right. Well, Athletic Director Matt Harris, Saguaro High School, Saguaro Sabercats, the Saguaro Spring Football Showcase from coming to you from Scottsdale, Arizona. Guys, stick around. We are going to bring you more of the sights and sounds of the event. Enjoy.
Young guys, but I'm glad y'all was able to come out here. Y'all kind of seen how things were being ran. Y'all gonna get another opportunity.
To the Saguaro.
All right, y'all will get an opportunity. All right, but this showcase was just based on older guys
Do some
trying to get recruited. All right,
athletes and prospects in
yeah.
our first session. Some athletes from Vermont, Tigers, high school,
Hold on, wait a minute.
Huskies, and the Valley Christian Trojans. Houston, Coach,
Yeah,
Coach Cindy,
wait.
and head coach Jake Valley Christian. As this session comes to a close, we'll have three more teams getting on the field. College coaches. Behind the football stadium is our team hospitality room, our film room. We have some food in there for you. Our way of saying thanks for choosing to come out to Saguaro High School. You have a lot of opportunities to recruit throughout the country. And we are grateful that you chose to come here to Saguaro. Hospitality room, food and beverages. Go grab yourself something to eat. And we'll be getting ready for session 2. On the field for session 2. Andy Linton in his first year of Mesa Mountain View. State champion runner to the 6A.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
Field session 2.
Harris will
National Mountain two-time open division is West County and Hamilton.
that headset on for me and
And Lawrence Kelly, who's a 13-time state champion, Sierra Cats taking the field next.
yeah, Larry and Rick Rivera, 26, and Jeffrey Smith. Sorry. Be a sophomore. All right. Okay, cool. Give me just a second, guys. Hey, Joe. We're going 3 group. Oh, volleyball. That's Sebastian. Yeah. They're having internet problems. Right? First volleyball. Yeah, sorry. Timing. All right, guys. We are back with a couple of more Marana Tigers, and we're joined by Darian DeWitt, running back athlete who's just going into a senior year, and Jeffrey Smith going into a sophomore year, who's a running back, middle linebacker. Gentlemen, uh, is this right? As a freshman, you rushed for 900 yards?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. Well, I want to talk to you. So 1,300 all-purpose yards. Guys, going into last year, now you were a freshman, obviously. As you now have a year under your belt and you're going into your senior year, what's different this year? I've been asking everybody that question. What's different? What's different? What's different? Tell me what's different. Starting with the senior here.
Probably just the way we got to adapt to everything. You know, we lose players every year, but the way coach plans our years out is just great.
he plans for whoever he
Mhm.
like his seniors and his weapons are going to be.
Um, can I call you Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jeff, as you know, as a freshman and having that big of an impact with your team and the success that you've had, what are some things that you could take away from last year now that you've got a year under your belt, the pressure, everything else? Does it feel a little easier to you? Do you feel like you're working harder now? What's different for you?
100%. I mean, I believe last season definitely lit a fire under my butt,
Yeah,
and it opened my eyes to a lot of things. And it definitely, my confidence definitely up this year, maturity definitely up, and I think I just, even as a team, we fully adapted together,
yeah.
and it's gonna be a great year for us.
Now, you guys obviously won every game in the regular season last year. Was there a favorite game that each of you guys had that maybe meant the most in terms of a team win or individual performance? Because it's okay to feel like, man, I had a great game. You know, you won every game, so it's okay to say that, even if the team didn't play as well in the victory, you still won the game. So I'll start with the young guy first, Jeff.
I'm gonna go with South Point because especially it was a game opener, my first ever time stepping on the field,
Yeah,
varsity,
yeah,
big lights, you know what I mean? It's definitely a bigger crowd. So definitely had me nervous, but it meant a lot to the team. I could tell in my brother's eyes when we won that game that
yeah,
they were very proud of themselves, and it was definitely a milestone for us as a team. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
big win. You know.
Okay. Darian, what about you?
I'd probably have to say Mountain View or CDO
Okay.
because Mountain View is, our rivals in our region. So that was just a great game. I competed very well against them.
Yeah.
But also CDO because me and Jeff, I feel, shared the rock real well,
Mm.
and we both got to eat.
Nice. Okay, there you go. Darian DeWitt and Jeffrey Smith, returners at Marana with the Tigers. Good luck this season. Looking forward to covering you guys. Much success, and I would say repeat it, but you want to go one step further and definitely run the table through the playoffs. So good luck to you guys. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. All right. We'll be right back, guys. Nice work. All right, guys, we are back, and we are joined by Horizon Huskies head football coach Tyson Ditmore. Coach, uh, give us your yeah. Don't talk to that guy over there. He's it's bad news. It's interesting. I digress, but he gives me credit. It's only after I say something. I came out here. I'm dying of thirst and everything, and he throws my name out there as a thank you. I don't even get a glass of water. Anyway, Matt Harris of Saguaro Athletic. He was a good guy. Okay, Coach Ditmore, let's get back on track here. Um, a little bit about the experience that you had out here today. You did this last year,
Mhm.
first year as a head coach. Now you're back. What's different about this year for you?
Weather, it's a little bit nicer. That's number one. But I mean, Coach Harris and Coach Kelly, they do an awesome job of being hospitable to allow teams like us to come out and get our kids looked at. And I think it's just you know the them organizing and putting everything together is just a consistent, smooth operation that we're greatly appreciative of.
Y- you had quite a season last year, an incredible year, and the thing about the Horizon community is they've become accustomed to incredible years. So the pressures that you're faced from the community, good thing, bad thing. I know it's kind of a leading question, but how do you feel about that?
I mean, I like it. I think our kids have developed, that competitive advantage, and we've got an awesome community that number one supports us and coaches wanting to build great young men. But the competitive advantage, is driven from home and from the school and from our administration. So there's always going to be the stressors of wins and losses in a program like Horizon because it's been set up so well. But we're trying not to focus on that too much.
Coach, last couple of years, and first of all, thanks for coming to the showcase, bringing your kids here. Tremendous amount of respect for you, your program, and Coach. Last year was unbelievable start for you. So the expectations, I'm sure, have been set by you and the kids in your program, and you're looking forward to this upcoming year. But I just want to talk about recruiting a little bit. Long time assistant coach and moved into that head coaching role, and you've been a part of this for a long time. What have you seen changing with recruiting as it pertains to high school, especially with that landscape changing with the portal and colleges, recruiting other college kids?
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing we've seen is we don't see as many college coaches coming out to the high schools to see the high school kids. There's a lot of involvement with what they call, I guess, prep players, which kids have already had a year under their belt. They've got film. They're trusted kids who have been to school. I don't know the day and age of the high school kids are is going to be as high maybe when I went to high school, but it's a little bit more difficult, and I think there's a positive to it that now some of these Division 2, Division 1 FCS programs, Division 3 programs have had an opportunity to kind of go back to that old school thing of recruiting kids who are out of high school and recruiting them the right way and looking for genuine kids for genuine programs.
Coaches, as you look around at other teams in the state and things that they're doing, with these camps and these games in other states and things like that, and ultimately, what does it come down to develop a team, a cohesive team that you've seen because you've been doing this for a while?
Um, One of the big things for me in general is just, holding kids accountable to the little things. That's the way that I was taught, from my head coach in high school. And, keeping kids accountable from the moment they walk in as freshmen until the moment they walk in out their senior year, just keeping them accountable and also making sure that the kids have fun. I mean, there's going to be years where you may not have some success, but you want to make sure that those seniors have a great year you want it to be a fun time for those kids.
Coach, you guys play in a extremely competitive region, and going back to your expectations last year, now leading into this year, what are you kind of looking forward to? And then who are some of the key players on your team that are going to need to step up and fill some big roles in order for you guys to have a nice run again next year?
For us, I think we've always been excited about the region that we're in just because of, the depth and talent that's in the region from Desert Mountain, Notre Dame Prep, Cactus, um, Cactus Shadows, you name it. Chaparral's now in our league. Um, just elite talent that we're going to get a chance to go against. And, we're going to rely on a lot of our kids. We have 31 seniors this year, which we're really excited about. But that group's going to be led by guys that like a 4-year starter like Bodie Zamorano, Johnny Issett, who played some running back for us last year, Jake Giroux, who played receiver. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you've got our linebackers with Gage Lee, secondary guys like Stratton Me, and then offensive line wise, Justin Klutwick. Those are guys that have been in the program for 4 years, and they know what it takes. And they've got a little bit a different taste in their mouth from last year's ending.
Great. Last question I had too. Who are some heavy lifters on your staff? Some guys that are just you rely on heavily because it's not a one man show coaching high school football.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what I do. I think I just take attendance every day, and let the coaches coach. But it's going to start with our defensive coordinator, Coach Dave Anderson. He is the head coach of the defense. Our offensive coordinator, Coach Drew Vaughn. He's the head coach of the offense. And then our special teams coordinator is Jason Haggerty. He's the head coach of the special teams. So those three right there are key leaders in our kind of leadership council from a coaching staff. And then we've got quality guys just across the board that are great men. Coach Clay Walker, who's was a 4-year starter at University of Washington. He's a Horizon grad, and just letting those guys do their thing.
Is there any truth to does Coach Anderson get in trouble at home once in a while? Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, the crazy thing is Coach Anderson. He's going to be on campus with us next year, and anytime I talk to him, he's like, "You always got to talk to the big boss."
Yeah. Well, if he goes out for lunch, he's got to bring
Yeah,
something back, right?
yeah, he's got to bring something back, and he's got to bring something back for the head coach and the athletic director.
Like you said, you have a great administration over there. Dean Anderson, amazing, as athletic director of the year, I think last year, and so just really excited to see what you've done in your short time returning there, and know that there's going to be more great things for you in that program. Fun to have here tonight. Can you highlight anyone that's you talked about some of your players already, but any conversations, any kids that you feel like are going to start blowing up after just even being here and having some conversation and eyes on them with the college coaches?
Yeah, I mean, from a Division I FBS standpoint, our tight end that just came back out this year, Preston Burke, he's going to get a lot of traction. And then we've got guys like Jake Giroux, who's in that Division I caliber kind of area, and then James Kloppenstein is a kiddo who's a 27 wide receiver who's really really elite, great body movement, body lean, can catch the ball. And then today we had a freshman offensive lineman pick up an offer from UNLV. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was super nice.
And coach, I can't help but notice the GPAs
Yeah.
of some of your best guys. My gosh, these guys are high level. Those are 3.9s, 4+s. What can you say about the work that the guys are doing in the classroom too?
Well, I mean, it's led by Johnny Issett, who's one of our big time lead players. He's got a 4.77. He's second in the class. So that's a tribute to the parents. That's a tribute to the kids, and it's a tribute to the staff that's at Horizon. Taking pride in the academics there, and that's one thing that Horizon really has done well since Coach Litton was there, since Coach Wisdom was there. They've always been a good academic school, having great kids that care about it.
Again, can't thank you and your staff, kids and community enough for coming out and spending another showcase with us, and hope you'll continue to come back.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Awesome. Coach Tyson Ditmore from Horizon. Coach, and we are excited to have another year to work with you and your team. You've been so accessible and looking forward to bringing back the Husky Report every Saturday morning as well. Thanks for that also. So a lot more to come from Horizon and Coach Tyson Ditmore. Thanks again, Coach.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
All right. Awesome. Coach, thank you. All right.
Great
Hey,
kids.
appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Take care.
What's going on?
Streaming live from Summer. So, that's all we are? All right. Awesome. On the big screen. Oh, great. She don't got no songs. Walk out with the sunlight. Being done, they ain't what they're. What the fuck are you talking about?
Talking the phone. Welcome to the Saguaro High School campus for the spring showcase. Second session beginning here tonight. We got 3 perennial powerhouse programs on the field. You have the Mesa Mountain View Toros, coached by Andy Litton, state runner-ups last year. Desert Mountain Wolves, coached by Conrad Hamilton. Back-to-back open division appearances for the Wolves. And your Saguaro Sabercats, 14-time Arizona State champs. I just want to introduce you real quick to some of the college coaches who are in attendance today and the programs they're representing. We're grateful for you guys coming out. You have a lot of schools that you can go visit, a lot of different showcases and events happening throughout the country. And we are grateful that you made it here to Scottsdale and Saguaro High School to spend your time with us and recruiting our student athletes. Some colleges here today: Wabash College, Coach Adams; Ripon College, Coach Heck; Ruth Fisher, Coach Peretta; from San Jose State, Coach Odom; from Michigan Tech University, Coach Donnelly; from Knox College, Coach Taylor; from Rocky Mountain College, Brandon Wilson; Coach C.J. Turner from Utah University; from the University of Hawaii, Coach Bill Robinson; Coach Cat from Lake Forest College is here. Talked to one of his assistant coaches. Lake Forest College will have over 50 Arizona football players on their roster next year. Chase Holbrook, quarterback coach from Colorado State University, is here. Adam Taylor, Knox College. Concordia University, Wisconsin, Coach Frederico. University here in Arizona, Connor Sullivan. Coach Blevins from Idaho State. From Central College in Iowa, Mike Chorowicz, Max Race. Beloit College, Kyle Langhoff. Fort Lewis College is here with Spencer Brown and John Grind. Also from Beloit, Brody Vogue. Thumhurst University, Colin Madison. Parker Kaiser. University of Wisconsin, River Falls, Joe Matheson. Anthony Garcia from Arizona Christian University. Brett Nelson, also from the Firestorm. University of Jamestown, Brian Mistro is here. From the great state of Minnesota, defensive coordinator Kyle Bakken is here from Concordia College in Moorhead. Rick Remack from Ottawa University. Shorebird is here with Coach Erskine representing. The UNLV Rebels, Coach Alexander in attendance. Minot State, Skylar Kavanaugh. Wabash College, BJ Clark. San Diego State's Matt Johnson is here. Black Hills State University, Coach Brown. CJ Turner, Utah Tech. Yale, Coach Majeskic is here. NAU is here, Coach Peters. Boise State is here with Coach Beauty. Washington State, Coach Bibbs. New Mexico State, Coach Fishbach. Idaho, Universities here: Montana State, Trenton Green; Colorado Mesa's Hunter Hughes; Utah State's Matt Johns; Eastern Washington's Mark Anderson is here. From Tempe, Arizona, 11 miles down the road, from the Big 12 Championship ASU Sun Devils, defensive coordinator Brian Ward, offensive coordinator Coach Arroyo here. Zach Barton, San Diego State. West Point is here. Coach Machado from Lewis and Clark. Eastern Washington University, Eric Sanders. Coach Diedrich from San Diego. Eric Chenander from Boise State. Iowa's here. Coach Ford from Idaho. Coach Roper from North Carolina State. Western New Mexico is here. Navy is here. We'd also like to thank members of the media: Julia Lopez from Arizona Family, 3TV, CBS Channel 5. Chilling here tonight. Adam Beadle from Rivals here tonight. Last but not least, Vince Delicio from Varsity Sports is here. The humble Vince Delicio. We are broadcasting live. Varsity Sports covering the action. We'll have some coaches live mic'd up for the broadcast during the 7-on-7s coming up. And Mr. Delicio will be interviewing our head coaches and some of our top prospects participating tonight. Thanks for coming to tonight's showcase. We'll get back on the mic to introduce you to some of the top players from each of the 3 programs on the field.
All right, question for you when you're done unplugging. Sure. Yes. Okay, I go.
Ready for you whenever you're ready. I was going to ask you if I can even mic you up for 7-on-7s.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me put right now.
You're muted right now?
Yeah, it's muted.
All right. All right.
Ready?
Okay. Oh yeah. They're dudes, man.
Yeah, I would like you both of them trying our whole time.
And they good kids. That's all. You talked with them? Great kids.
Want to get them in front of the staff. They both from out here?
Kyle's from Chicago and
Must
Jada,
be
21. Yeah, the eight's been in the eight's been out here pretty much his whole life, but they're from California.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Is that about 3 minutes? 3 more minutes? 3 minutes. 3 minutes. It's out of unofficial.
They went on the fishing tour already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's why they liked it. They had a lot of film. They looked the part. And they play a little bit.
They didn't play much last year.
They did. Just not a lot of film. Yes.
Serious.
Right. Off mute now.
I can hear. Is he live, Mike? Coach Coop?
He was, yeah. So nice little surprise. And he did ask me if he was muted, and I mistakenly had him unmuted. Anyway, this is live. We're having fun here, guys. Welcome back, and we are live from Saguaro High School for the Saguaro Spring Football Showcase, and we're joined by a mainstay here in the Valley in high school football coaching at Valley Christian, Coach Jake Peterson. Coach, thank you for coming on over. I wanted to ask you, because you participated in this event last couple of years, what do you and your team get out of this event?
This is an area that we don't get as much as a small school. As many coaches coming through us, and when you get an event, in a place like Saguaro that hosts that, invites schools of the quality and quantity that Saguaro does, gets our kids a lot more looks and where people might not see them in other places. So, pretty great spot for us.
Uh, Coach, if you don't mind, speak to a little bit of some of your players. When I go down your roster, specifically when I see your linemen, I feel like those are linemen that could be playing at the 6A level. But I know you have some other really good skill position players, a good young talented tight end, and a quarterback that's really starting to step up for you as well. But if you can just share maybe a little bit about some of your key guys and how they performed tonight, and what kind of leadership and expectations you have for each of those guys to help you next year have a great season.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with a guy like Jackson Quiot. He's plays left guard for us, 6'3", 290. He's worked his butt off this offseason, gained 40 pounds in the offseason, so he's 6'3", 290 right now. Been to a ton of camps, getting a lot of the Ivy League looks. Yale was talking to him, Harvard today. So that's kind of his wheelhouse. I think technique from that guy's always been amazing. He just wasn't done growing, and so his strength wasn't developing as quick as some of these other guys because of the growth he was having. And so this was great for him to be able to showcase, what he's been working on in this offseason. Obviously, like you said, Caden Palmquist, he's 6'3", 225. He's only a freshman, and I'm biased because he's my guy, but when you watch him out on the field here, I think he's arguably the best tight end in the state of Arizona. Whether it's the way that he blocks, whether it's the way he runs routes and catches the ball. I mean, the kid's skills and his work ethic, his character. I mean, everything from that kid just screams he's going to be in the NFL someday. We got Asher Hansel as a wide receiver, runs a 4.5 40 at the Blue Gray All American tryout the other day. He didn't play as much this last year because he had a lot of nagging injuries that he went through. But he still, the games that he did play, the 3 games, he had nearly 200 yards receiving in each of the 3 games that he got to play. He played in 3 other games as well, but he was more of just a decoy of, hey, you got to pay attention to this guy over here. So, our quarterback that we have projected to start this year, Austin Shooter, is more like a linebacker playing quarterback. I mean, the kid's got a strong arm, but his best skill is him wanting to run over somebody. But he's played 3 different positions on offense and 3 different positions on defense as well. He played quarterback last year at the end of the season. He played some tight end, some slot receiver, some running back, and then he played linebacker on defense. He played inside and outside backer, and then some strong safety for us as well. So the kid's been all over. Those are a couple of the guys that were getting some looks tonight that people were paying attention to. So some great guys, and we've got a lot of young guys that are developing right now as well. That a place like this, is where they can get looks where, they're not always coming down to watch 3A football games, which, might be a little bit misunderstood, but there's a great amount of talent in 3A football, especially with Valley Christian's tradition of who they put on the field, not just in football, but every sport. So.
Absolutely. Coach, you've had some great runs at Valley Christian. I was on the sidelines, I think, for one of your state semifinal games. Last year, not really a year that you were expecting, and didn't quite finish the way you wanted it to. What first of all, what are some things you guys are doing? What are some other things you guys are doing this summer? And then what are your expectations next year going into the season, and what's going to take for you guys to have a great year?
Yeah, I think a key component that we were missing last year is when you have a semifinal run and go 11-2. Some kids and coaches included can be like, "Hey, we'll just do it again next year." And we had a lot of returning guys, and so we kind of expected the leadership to be at a high level, but we lost a lot of the key leadership pieces, and that's what made us really good the year that we went to the semifinals. Is the guys that we had leading the team. And I think that's been one of our keys in the off season is developing those leadership guys, because if you don't have talent, if you don't have camaraderie, if you don't have the guys working together, I tell the guys every year, it's not the most talented team that wins the state championship, it's the best team. And you got to get those guys working together, and we just didn't have enough of that this last year. And I think you combine our talent this year, you combine the work that we've been putting in the off season, whether it's the weight room or whether it's the coaching that we've gotten with our kids, multi-sport athletes, pushing them into run track, some kids playing lacrosse in the off season that are really just developing a lot of skills other than just being a football player is going to help them. And I think I look for us to make a huge run at the title this year, because we have a lot of the key components that we did, and even better in some and a lot of the positions that when we went to the state semifinals a couple of years. So.
And what does football look like for a Valley Christian player for the rest of the summer until you guys start up practices in the fall?
Yeah, I mean, we typically, we practice 4 days a week, 3 hours a day, an hour and a half in the weight room, an hour and a half on the field. It's going to be, we're going to navigate through some weird things on our field this year because they're doing some restructuring of our field. They're putting a new surface down. I mean, we're still sticking with grass, but they're, tearing up the field and putting in a new sprinkler system and putting new topsoil on there and things like that. And so we're having to drive back and forth between the weight room and the practice field that's about 10 to 15 minutes away from our campus. Our elementary campus has a field that we're going to be using, and so we put in a lot of work there. Going to be going to some 7-on-7 tournaments, most notably the NAU one on June 22nd this year to get a lot of competition. Also, a big thing for us, like I said, is not just football. We take our kids on a lot of leadership retreats, and that's really important. That's the first thing that we do, actually, the first week of June. We have our kids, our seniors run a youth football camp, and then we take them that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And this week we're actually just staying here in Scottsdale to do it, but getting a VRBO and then doing a little golf scramble with the seniors and just talking about life, talking about goals, how to meet those goals, what are the expectations, and just helping mentor them to be great young men, just not being a guy that plays football.
If Vince will let me ask one more.
Coach, I'm surprised you even remember I'm still here. Yeah, exactly.
You're a great producer.
Hey, when you put two good friends together, you're just going to get talking.
Friends? Oh, you guys, not me and him. Yeah, not he and I. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your show. Please continue.
So football, unlike any other sport with the number of guys you have, positions, things like that, you rely heavily on your assistant coaches. Who are some of the key heavy hitters on your staff that you rely on?
Yeah, I mean, number one, Andy Keeler. I mean, God's blessed me with some amazing people, and I'll start with that guy first. I mean, he sometimes people would think he's the head coach with some of the stuff that he's doing. I mean, he sold his business that he had. He played for Tom Osborne at Nebraska. He's our offensive line coach, and just when we talk about the leadership part of our team, he's not just a coach on the field. He wants to develop men. He's one of the best guys that we'll have. Austin Brooks is our defensive coordinator this year. Graduated from Wheaton. Grew up in Oklahoma. Phenomenal guy. He's actually a lawyer, and then our offensive coordinator also graduated from Wheaton, and he's a doctor. So I mean, we're bringing in some pretty smart guys into this thing, and so Ben and Austin played together in Wheaton. James Fitzgerald is an alumni. Addison Bear, alumni as well. Justin Stinson, who was the two-time Defensive Player of the Year. He came back and he'll be his first year coaching for us this year. I mean, we have a phenomenal group of guys that are mentoring our players, and so couldn't be prouder of the work that those guys do. I mean, right now it's allowed me like a showcase like this where I just get to go around and talk to coaches. I don't have to worry about doing the on-field coaching, so it's been pretty awesome this year.
Good.
You want me to wrap up? Coach Peterson, Valley Christian, thanks so much for joining us today. No, in all seriousness, though, Coach, he did a great job interviewing you. I'm very impressed.
Maybe he's got another career.
Not with me, but I just well, let's just keep him as an AD. He does that job well enough. So anyway, Coach, thanks again. Good luck this season. Looking forward to covering you guys in all seriousness, and we have a lot of fun here. And I'm truly grateful because I consider all these coaches here friends as I do you. So thanks
you.
again,
I appreciate
Coach.
that.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for bringing the Valley Christian community back up here again,
Thanks
and
for having us.
hope to have you back next year.
Appreciate it.
All right.
No, I mean filet. They're good. So, oh, not now. No, no, I don't need it now. I can read it to the top. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you again for joining us tonight at the Spring Football Showcase. We have over 80 college coaches here in attendance, possibly more. We'll get the exact numbers out to you shortly. But a tremendous event here for 6 high school football teams to participate in to advance and help their prep recruiting careers to play at the next level. College coaches from Division One, Division Two, NAIA, and Division Three universities here, along with some local media here covering the event. I'm going to introduce you to some class of 2026 players first. Out on the field right now, Mesa Mountain View Toros head coach Andy Litton, state runner-ups last year at the 6A level. Their quarterback is a 6'4", 215-pound elite prospect with a 4.0 GPA. Brady Goodman, 6A Offensive Player of the Year, Fiesta Region Player of the Year, over 3,000 passing yards, 43 TDs, 451 rushing yards, 11 rushing TDs. He's got offers from Utah State, Northern Arizona, Wyoming, and North Texas. He's wearing number 5 out there. One of his top threats, wide receiver, defensive back, wearing number 13 out there. Talon Arnett, 5'10", 175 with a 3.75 GPA. First team, 6A receiver. He was the Fiesta Region Offensive Player of the Year. 1,230 yards receiving yards on 58 receptions. 24 receiving TDs, which was the 6A record. That's Talon Arnett. Rain Curiel is a linebacker wearing number 11. 5'11", 218 pounds, 3.8 GPA. He had 88 tackles, 2 interceptions last year, was first team all region. Defensive back, Brody Anderson, wearing number 8 out there, 5'10", 190, 3.4 GPA. He was first team all Fiesta region. He's the most versatile player on the team. Offensive lineman and D lineman wearing number 77 for the Toros. He's 6'2", 315 pounds. That's Diego Kish. Best offensive lineman, 3-year starter. He can play all line positions. Wide receiver D-back wearing number 1. That's Zachary Galvez. Second team all region. He was a 6'8" punt returner, 2-way player for the Toros. 3.6 GPA. Sean Mangafer, wide receiver and D-back, wearing number 27 out there. 6 foot tall, 3.2 GPA. Myron Christensen is the D-back wearing number 21, 6 foot 170, 3.5 GPA. Steve Meadow, wide receiver D-back wearing number 14. Cannon Raybon, linebacker, running back, wears number 24, 5'11", 200 pound, 3.5 GPA. Evan Millett, he's an O-line, D-line, wearing number 70. He's 6'2", 260 with a 3.2 GPA. Those are your 2026 Mountain View Toro prospects.
All right. All right, time to come back. Wait, don't go anywhere. Well, yeah, we gotta.
You know, it's been a couple minutes since you and I. Is it really? Actually, since like your last.
All right. Welcome back to the Scottsdale Saguaro Spring Football Showcase. Vince DeLisio here, joined by Saguaro Athletic Director Matt Harris. Mr. Harris, so you also doing a fine job, by the way, as the public address announcer this afternoon and doing some great interviews with coaches. Your assessment so far?
Just another great night. Weather could not be better right now as you see that sun dipping down over Camelback Mountain. So, no, an outstanding night. Your always number one focus is you just want to make sure you get some college coaches here. And it does look like we have over 80 college coaches that have signed in here tonight that are on the field from all levels of football, which is what you want to give these students a great opportunity to continue their careers, to get recruited at the next level.
You know, it's interesting because last year's event, I don't know if it was a week later, what it was. Do you remember the exact date last year? Because it seemed like it was hotter last year.
It was hotter. I think it was right around the same time, believe it or not. But it was hot.
It not quite as bad, but the
It's a dry heat,
performances.
though.
It's of course it is a dry heat, but it was still. I'm not going through as much water as I did last year. But the performances on the field, the kids are having a great time. It's a lot of fun. The coaches are smiling, which I didn't see a lot of last year. So you know the pressure's off. that they're out here just keeping it loose, having a good time while also showcasing their kids. And that's what this event is about. You've gone through your entire list of coaches from different colleges and universities here that are represented, and it's amazing. And who was it? Coach Ditmore that said one of his players got offered by UNLV. That's amazing.
Yeah, one thing we do see right after this event, as early as tomorrow, you'll see some things going on social media. And what's really special, I think, is sometimes you'll see players get their very first offer to a university, and so that's a real special thing coming out of this event.
You know, and these offers are happening earlier and earlier and earlier, and that's one thing that really amazes me is how these coaches are able to evaluate these kids so early in their high school careers, and yet kind of take a risk, take a gamble, and throw that offer out there because there's still a lot of growth to be had as well. But what's your take on that?
No, you're right. And again, we keep talking about the landscape changing a little bit at the college level, where they're recruiting a lot of, I guess, other college players that have already played at that level. Talked to, some young men from Beloit College where they're talking about they feel like the type of player they're looking for from an academic standpoint is very much Ivy League like, and so they were really excited to see the high GPAs from some of the student athletes on Horizon High School's team. They talked about a couple of our linemen that they know are 4.0 plus kids.
Wow.
So I think there's some misnomers out there. There's always the big name schools that you see, every sweatshirt in every store.
Yeah.
But there's so many colleges, universities throughout the country that sometimes aren't on people's radar originally that are great academic schools and a chance for student athletes to continue their playing career, get a great education, and still play football.
We're going to bring Coach Darius Kelly here from Saguaro over in a few minutes, but talk about him. Last year was his first year here, taking over the program. They had come off a state championship. He was part of that staff, and basically starting from scratch, brand new staff, new kids. Going into year two, what have you seen so far on campus?
Yeah, unbelievable. The team that you're seeing on the field right now this spring that's going to get out there. The amount of work that has been put in by Coach Kelly, his staff, the student athletes, literally every day they've been grinding. So the season might have ended, and it was a tough one for the Cats, kind of uncharacteristic season for us. But that just fueled the fire and motivated our coaching staff with Coach Kelly and also our student athletes. A really talented, kind of a talent-rich, what I'd call class of 2026. Some of those students had transferred in and weren't eligible until Game 6 last year. So there's no doubt that their familiarity and the foundation from last year is there, and we're really expecting some phenomenal things for the SaberCats in their upcoming season.
I'm excited. I'm excited. So far, anybody out here kind of stand out position group schools? Obviously, I know you're rooting for the homeschool here, but it's not necessarily a competition as more a showcase, like the name implies. But anything in particular that you're seeing?
The teams that just stepped on the field right now, I always use the phrase "eye test." You look at these kids out here right now. You got Desert Mountain on the field right now. Desert Mountain, uh, two-time team in the Open under Coach Conrad Hamilton, and so expectations there won't change at all going into next year. The SaberCats will actually open up at Desert Mountain on the road. I'm not sure what time when the last two schools met. We'll have to answer that question in the future for our audience. But first time in a long time that these two district schools will meet up on the gridiron first game next fall. So without a doubt, though, the Mesa Mountain Views, Saguaro, Desert Mountain, there are a ton of kids on all three of these schools rosters that are getting collegiate recruiting, and then there's no question as to why these teams are usually having a deep run in the state playoffs.
Well, and you've got these big schools, these big marquee upper division schools, and then you've got 3A Valley Christian kind of sneaking in, and but with some talent on their roster as well, and Coach Peterson holding his own with his kids out here and getting a lot of attention as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're that little school that takes a lot of pride in having great academics at Saguaro High School, Math and Science Academy, where you can get an elite education here on campus with a great staff, small school environment. but go play big time football and athletics. And mentioning schools like Marana down in Tucson, it's great to have Coach Stewart on the show and get to know a little bit more about him and his program and their journey there. And then similarly, Coach Jake Peterson, just a high character guy, and Valley Christian. Like you said, some of their players definitely look like they could be playing 6A football and a perennial 3A team that's going to be competing every year for an opportunity to state championship at that level.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to come back and show you more of the sights and sounds of the Saguaro Spring Showcase here from Saguaro High School in Scottsdale, Arizona. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for tuning in.
This is 5. That's the reason. Tell me. He's a baller. Chaparral. Oh, got him. What? Boy.
With his arms.
Hey, hey, make the cheese.
Class of
Make the cheese.
26. He's wearing 7. His teammate that just got a 50-yard touchdown out there is Tristan Armstrong, wide receiver, 6'2". Tristan,
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Montana.
Turn up, turn up, turn up.
That's the best tight end. He is 6'3", 185.
Hey, you got to put it on him, baby. Got to put it on him.
For Georgia State.
Put it on him.
10.
Turn up.
Even though that's good.
It's good.
Six foot 4, 195 pounds. He's got offers from Bowling Green, Central Michigan, Northern Arizona, Montana, and Nevada.
Shuttle. Right there, right there. Good. Oh. Good job, Q. Good. Yes, sir. Copio. Turn up. Hey, rather have you go late than to commit and then you got the tunnel wide open, right? Good job, bro. Good patience right there. Huh? No, we have one more round on 7. Late. Keep going, baby. Late. There you go. Talk about it.
Hey, blue, blue, blue. Choice. Two to one. 2 to 1. 2 to 1. Good. Choice. There's a recovery. Yes, no, big bird touched it off. Here we go. Hey.
Starter for the Super Cats. Blind.
Yeah, he's needed more. Needs more nickel too. Safety. Stop, Kydell. Go, 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 go. Tired? Huh? Yeah. I know you're tired. I know you're tired. 7 straight minutes. Yeah, water. Let's suck it up. Suck it up, man.
Flying back into the Cats. We're into 2:30.
Oh, put it on.
The Cats. Offensive lineman, Chris Simich. We're number 60, 6'5", 265. Secondary 2026 prospects for the Cats. Malachi Rivers, linebacker, 6'1", 195. Delano Sanguine, the defensive back, you're number 19, he's 6'2". Omar Abu Anbar, running back, 3.7 GPA. He's wearing number 23 out there. We'll get you introduced to more of the Saber Cats and our prospects from Desert Mountain and Mesa Mountain View.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. That's me. Shit.
Hey, man. Every time I sit on that couch, I'm feeling like eventually a bad too. Me mute.
division. Here's Coach Hamilton, class of 2026 prospects. We're number 50 out there is Ronald Roach. He's an offensive, defensive lineman, 5'10", 230, 4.7 GPA. Outside linebacker, tight end, Musi Guzman, 6'2", 215. He's got a 3.1 GPA. Musi's wearing number 0. Number 5 is Ryan McDonough, 5'11", 180-pound defensive back wide receiver, carries a 3.9 GPA. Number 11 is Brody Morrison, 6'3", tight end, plays outside linebacker, 6'3", 210. Brody Morrison, wearing number 11. Number 99 out there on the defensive line, 6', 225, Connor Ring. Wearing number 69, offensive defensive lineman, 6'4", 250-pound Nolan Sampson. Number 6, Becca Solomon, 5'9", 170, defensive back, plays wide receiver, 3.3 GPA. Next year, the class of 2026. Here are the current sophomores that'll be juniors next year. Class of 2027 prospects for the Cats. This young man had a stellar sophomore year. Wide receiver, cornerback, Aiden Whitaker. Aiden's got offers from Kansas, Sacramento State, Northern Arizona University. He's got a natural catching ability, good frame, long strides, great speed. Aiden Whitaker, wearing number 4 out there, 6'4", 190, 3.8 GPA. Another class of 27 prospect is Oliver Gibson, wide receiver, wearing number 16, 6'1", 170 pound with a 3.5 GPA. He's got great ball skills, great route runner, some next level talent. He was another contributor on the field this last year for the Cats as a sophomore. Starting defensive back and a kick returner for the Cats last year, Elijah Jackson. EJ wears number 10. He's 5'9", 170 pounds. Quick punt returner. Ability to cut it back. Strong defensive back. He continues to improve. Quentin Sims, wide receiver, linebacker for the Cats. 6'3", 215, 3.3 GPA. Quentin's wearing number 18 out there for the Cats. Another class of 2027, standout running back. Split time last year in the running back slot on varsity. Ty Strozier, very explosive, good balance, change of pace. Ty's wearing number 2, 5'10", 195. Offensive lineman out there, number 65, William Semino, 6'5", 305. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman, Wearing number 90 out there, 6'5", 285, carrying a 3.5 GPA is Britton Woodruff. If you haven't seen our kicker, you're going to want to. Jack Snyder, wearing number 81, 5'10", 175 with a boot. He's a 4-star kicker, consistent from 55 and in, accurate. And he's got deep ball placement on kickoffs. Another 2027 prospect for the Cats. Wade Gibbs, offensive defensive lineman, 6'5", 255, wears number 95. Cameron McCurry's a linebacker, number 24, 6'3", 220. Oliver Etter, offensive lineman, 6 foot tall, 265, wearing number 71. Randall Briggs, a running back for the Cats in the class of 27, wears number 22, 5'11", 175. Out there for the Cats.
Drove down the road. I went to the Cats. So,
Hell yeah.
and see her local.
Appreciate it. Anytime, man. Anytime it's not like one.
That's classic Jake's last one.
Pilarsic. Pilarsic.
Class 28 prospect. Jake Bostic is our quarterback out there, 6'1", 170, our number 12. Wide receiver, kick and punt returner out there. Mark.
Last year, showcased this year.
And then the wide receiver, back wearing number 20 is Marcus Cleveland.
Interesting last one.
Economos.
Number 32, Justin Economist, wide receiver, 160. Also in that class of 2028. Robert Smith Hughes, offensive lineman, wearing number 68, 6'5", 250 freshman in that class of 2028. Anthony Smith, linebacker, wearing number 6. Larry McNulty, wearing number 11.
Are there any coaches out here we haven't interviewed?
I haven't. DK, I have not. No. All right, you guys, we are back with Coach Conrad Hamilton out of Desert Mountain. Coach, first of all, thanks for doing this. I can't tell you how excited we are as a group to be covering you guys again this year, and we get a chance to see you out here tonight with your team. Um, this has been an amazing event. What are you seeing out here?
Well, and I'll see, a bunch of young guys that are eager to perform in front of a bunch of college coaches, right? And, trying to end their spring ball sessions on a good note and take some days off before we get back at it in the summer after the Memorial break. That's kind of what I see. I don't know.
As you survey the landscape, and this is a showcase, so it's not necessarily a competition team against team.
Yeah.
It's just players out here getting noticed, and I know that you are your own worst critic. But realistically, I mean, you are really. You don't cut yourself too many breaks, Coach. In the time that I've known you, I mean, and that's what keeps you guys going. But with your guys tonight and what you've been seeing, I mean, how are they performing?
I think, right now, um, we're on schedule. It's been a
Yeah.
long spring. We do stuff, I think we start doing little things with our guys probably right before spring break, first part of March, where we're going to do, a couple hour practices twice a week, things like that, installs, just little things like that. I guess you can call it an OT or whatever. We're in the weight room, grinding them out, whatever, during class and doing things like that. So it's been a good spring. We have a small 26 senior class, but some guys that'll help us play. But where we're really loaded at is our 27 and 28 classes. We have a lot of young skill talent there. So things have been good. We're just working to get better every day.
Coach, I believe is this your 7th year we're going into, or 8th?
Yeah, we'll just finished our sixth, but we'll be
Going
starting
into
the 7th.
7th.
Yes, sir.
And so, ironically, that's tenure right now at the high school level and coaching and stuff. Just tell us a little bit about your culture at Desert Mountain and what's made you guys perennially one of the top teams in Arizona, and just a little bit about your culture there at Desert Mountain and why you guys are successful.
Yeah, I just think one, I still don't know if we've reached that area where we can say we're one of the top teams. I think we've been successful over the last several years just because we're trying to create what we call a championship mindset. We want to win the day every day, right? We want our kids to have the right type of disposition when they come to work, whether it's in the classroom, on the field, or out in the community where we want them to be at their best. And I just think, um, with my past history and where I've come from, a little bit of Eastern New Mexico to being a seventh round pick, to coaching and doing all sorts of stuff. We want to be an overachieving program. And that's really what life is about, in my opinion, whenever is always outworking your talent, overachieving so you can be successful, never feel like you've ever made it. And I think that's what we embark on them as a staff. And that's kind of how our kids play. All right. Because I do think we're an overachieving program a little bit.
I don't know of any big schools that has more, and I kind of tease you about this every year I talk to you, Coach, but I don't know of any big schools that plays more two-way players in the state of Arizona than Desert Mountain consistently. How are you able to maintain that high level of the demand from your kids?
Well, I think one is, the off seasons are great to us. Some first and foremost, whatever. That's really the learning curve, right? The film, the chalkboard, the meetings, the walkthroughs, all that stuff, whatever. So they can kind of understand and comprehend all that stuff, whatever. And then so they can start playing fast as we get in the spring ball in the summer. And by the time we're near the season, they've kind of mastered both playbooks. Ideally, we don't want to play everybody both ways, but we have to create the quality depth that we need at a program that only has 100 kids. But that's why we do it. If we had our druthers, we wouldn't do it. And if we did do it, it would just be our top players that can handle that rigor of playing both sides. Kind of like a Travis Hunter. We don't have that many, but right now we have to do it just because we don't have quality depth.
Last question. I know you got to be on the field here in a minute or so. Tell me, who are some guys that have really stepped up big for you that you're really excited about their development this spring that kind of propels you to being excited to see what they can do on the field for you next year?
Yeah, I just think right now, in our senior class, we've had some Brian McDonough's going to be a kid who started, you know, almost 4 years. He started games as a freshman, as a sophomore, as a junior. He'll be our leader coming back. He's got some offers. He's good in the classroom. So I think he's done a great job. And then I would just say, without singling any one guy out, it's just our young skill players they have some talent. I have
two or three freshmen that I think that started in games last year as freshmen. Easton Connor one, Kai Shin is another. Um, I have guys in my defensive backfield that are only sophomores currently. General Solomon, Braylon Wilkerson, Hassan Smith. These guys are rising a little bit. Um, and then our quarterback's had a good spring as well. Whatever, and he plays baseball. So and then we have several receivers that are in that 27 class that have just flashed for us. So we're just excited about our young players. And we got some bigs that are in that 27 class too, whatever. There are some big kids. And we got some of our seniors that have playing experience. So, we should be all right. We should be a tough out again, I think, in 5A football.
Absolutely.
You know,
Opening game of the season again is who you hosting?
yeah, we're hosting the 6A power of uh, uh, Saguaro High
He
School.
had to think
So
about that one.
it'll be fun for us. Our kids are looking forward to it, and it'll be a good game. Look forward to that.
Coach, respect you immensely.
No,
You got great kids and
thanks.
great tradition, great community up there, and we're just glad you're back at the
We're we're
showcase
we're we're,
tonight.
we're
And
trying. We're very gracious that you welcome us to come over here every year. We're having fun with it, so it's a good deal. Let me
all right,
get
you
out
got to
here
get
because
out there.
these
All
guys
right,
are.
Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Conrad Hamilton. Thanks, Coach. All right. Looking forward to working with Coach Hamilton. So I got to tell you, we're still live, by the way, but he is he is a class act. There are a few coaches that I've worked with, Jason Mons being one, um, Zach Hill being another, Darius Kelly being one, Conrad Hamilton, Jason Jewell, that I can honestly say are good class guys. Andy Litton, Tyson Ditmore. I mean, there's and he's one of those guys, and it's interesting because he's played in the highest of highs. I mean, he was a 7-year veteran in the NFL, played and was a significant contributor to the teams he played. I played for the Giants, I believe, and just had a great career. And he's the most grounded guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, Coach is one of those guys too. Again, just a great mentor for young kids. Played it, coached at ASU as well prior to
Yeah,
getting back into the high school ranks, and so he really kind of understands just what it takes all the way around for a student athlete to be successful. Again, you look through the Desert Mountain football roster, and there's no shock either. You look at these prospects, ton of these kids, high GPAs, over 3.5, 4.7 for Ronald Broach. Again, when you have that kind of classroom leadership, 4.1 with Connor Ring, when you have seniors with on the field with the tradition of being in two open division, you know runs there with
yeah.
great seasons, and then they're just good on and off the field. You have a good culture in the program.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And what's interesting about Conrad Hamilton, and then we'll get off of the topic of Desert Mountain, but he, his teams will have big wins, and he will get so focused on the offsides penalty that his three technique had in a key situation in the third quarter, and he'll spend the entire post game interview just talking about that one thing and how he wished it would have been better. And that's the sign. And you find that with a few of the coaches that it doesn't matter what the margin of victory is, that they'll focus on the things that they could have done better, and I mean, he's one of those guys. So I really enjoy working with him and I think the Desert Mountain community is lucky to have him. So
No, and they're in a tough region there
yeah,
with some of the most competitive 5A teams. And I think if you look back over the course of the last couple of years, whether it's during the season or when they get into the playoffs, there's a lot of games that end up being like one score games.
yeah,
And so those attention to the details that you're talking about, getting it right, making the corrections from one week to the next, I think that pays dividends, and it's usually why they're one of the best teams come December.
yeah. So anyway, guys, we are going to transition back, let you enjoy a little bit of the sights and sounds with the time that we have left. How much time do we have left, Mr. Harris?
I believe we are supposed to be finishing up here at 8:30, so about
Oh,
20 minutes.
okay. All right. Well, with that, thanks again for tuning in. Vince DeLisio, Varsity Sports Show, and Matt Harris, Saguaro SaberCat Athletic Director. Stay tuned.
No, by the way, you got scenes right there. You got so they no signing no more. Saying they no more. I can't say anything. Say like they like to run it. They don't stay she got it. That's what look at it. It's great, but she go around and step up into the car. If the blanket lights, look, if you down, if you think of what's a you take the chair out of 10, put it down, put it farther and right. If it don't get it right, take your truck back, get back. That's the part of it. If you believe in the best, you can believe in your strength.
It's time to be done. So it's time to change the same thing. We're going to hate a post contact, structure that you can have it make. From the tech, try to charge us to the toilet. Got those little rain trying to pull me back. I'm John to the companies in the club, sound no response and shit. Stash gone. Took a move, talk time, man. Just get the ground, talking up town, nail on the line. So I'm a textbook, thanks to me, cause go ahead, stick the child up in the day. I'm making like a really pile up. I'm taking upside the head from the pile of stuff. Come on, you know what we mean. You can try me in the toss. Try to put up the Hey, did you go get food earlier? Yeah. What? I get drawn to the love of this super giant. Pretty drawn to the sky. Wake up, see red sound. I wish the lunch. Maybe as a red out of the touch. I be feeling that's not your punish. I got plenty just up to kind of contract. Legacy. Found a way to kill no job. I'm a bird like a sonic. I'm ready to come and kill you with a touch. Something to put in the planet. Don't think you keep a king on the ground. That's a bigger than the planet. Go watch the planet. The color you're trying to put in the freebie. I got to put up the kitty. I got to discount with this. Say you make to a life. No kids put up in the unit. But six in the put up in the killing. But you pull up in the but the house. But it's up in the baby. Go drill it. But kill it. But kill it. I got brown jack. I can cover that shit. Kids out here. Then it all want to take it. I play the ball. But it's been in the body. Jump the door. Don't bring the sand. Break the door. I be getting to the chicken. Can't see the chicken. It's all about that. I got brought up in Atlanta. She's a good man in Atlanta. Pretty tall to the stars. No fix in the battle. Lexus. Ways. Gun. Going to check on the time. And the killers on the hands. Legacy. Gun. Ways. Gun. Punch. Down. Senegal. Trying to get in the bunch of the ground. Jump the first. Ground. Nick, put on your gun. Killers on the stone. I got brought up in Atlanta.
Signing off in Saguaro.
This was fun. Thank you.
I feel like indebted that you let me jump on there too because I do enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I know. I'm glad.
I feel like there's a lot of parts of the job that are tough, Vince, and that you don't enjoy. And so it is fun to be able to come out here and
work with you and just, you know what I mean, and just enjoy being at an event. And
It'd be nice to be able to do this year round, I'll tell you what, and not have to do any of the other stuff.
thank you everybody for coming out and supporting our annual spring football showcase. Appreciate our Saguaro Booster Club for helping out, hosting tonight's event, and all the parents, your support. If we could have some coaches, student athletes, just make sure you help pick up and leave our field nice and clean. We're 1 week away from hosting graduation, right where you just played tonight. Thanks again for coming out. Drive home safe.